Have you ever walked into a noisy social event, felt your energy drain within minutes, and secretly wondered, is something wrong with me for not enjoying this? Have you ever looked at people who seem to have endless friends, parties, and group chats, and then looked at yourself craving quiet time alone, and thought, maybe I am just antisocial. Maybe I will fall behind in life because I do not network enough. Welcome back to the channel, my friend. I am really glad you are here, especially if your heart has ever felt torn between what the world tells you to do and what your inner voice whispers. Today we are going to talk about a topic that cuts right across modern anxiety: spiritual growth and destiny itself. Why many genuinely intelligent, sensitive, and awakening people do not actually enjoy constant socializing, and why understanding this can free you from years of meaningless obligations and fake connections. From the outside, modern life repeats one message again and again. You must be visible. You must be social. You must attend events. You must keep up with every chat group. Otherwise you will fall behind. But if you listen to the deeper currents of wisdom, both ancient and modern, you will hear another message. If you scatter your attention on too many people and too many conversations, you slowly lose the most important connection of all, the connection with your own heart and your own path. So in this long sharing, we will explore several questions together. Why do truly wise people often prefer a small circle, or sometimes even long stretches of solitude? Why can empty socializing slowly drain not only your time but also your clarity, compassion, and spiritual energy? How can you tell the difference between healthy, nurturing relationships and karmic entanglements that keep you stuck? And how can you begin to say no, not out of arrogance or coldness, but out of wisdom, kindness, and respect for your own destiny? We will do this not through abstract theory, but through stories. Stories of people who were exhausted by endless networking until they woke up. Stories of spiritual practitioners who discovered that silent evenings did more for their life than 100 flashy dinners. Stories that might sound suspiciously like your own life in disguise. And running through all of this will be the deeper threads of awakening, karma, compassion, practice, and the mysterious way that your destiny is shaped by the people you allow close to your mind. Let us start with a picture that might feel familiar. Imagine a young professional named Daniel. On paper, he is doing well. He works in a big company. He has many contacts in his phone. He is invited to dinners, gatherings, and weekend trips. When people look at his social media, they think, wow, he really has a great life. So many friends, so many events. But if you could see behind the highlight reel, you would see something very different. On Monday night, he goes to a team dinner. Loud music, forced laughter, everyone trying to impress each other. He raises his glass. He smiles. He laughs at jokes he does not find funny. Inside, his mind is thinking about the project he wants to start, the book he wants to read, the quiet he misses. But he tells himself, if I do not go, people will think I am weird. If I do not show my face, maybe opportunities will pass me by. So he goes. On Wednesday, a college friend invites him to a birthday party in a bar across town. He is tired, but again, he feels he cannot refuse. We were classmates. I have to give face, he tells himself. Once again, he stands in a circle of people shouting over the noise, talking about promotions, gossip, other people's relationships, plans for the next trip. When he finally gets home after midnight, his head is buzzing, his body is heavy, his soul feels strangely empty. On Friday, a senior manager organizes a networking event. You must come, his colleagues say. You never know who you might meet. So he irons his shirt, plasters on a smile, and spends another evening shaking hands, exchanging business cards, and promising to keep in touch with people he will probably never intentionally meet one-on-one. Week after week, This pattern continues. His schedule is full. His contacts list is long. But something inside is thinning. He notices that when he finally has one free evening, he does not even know how to enjoy it. His attention is restless, trained to look outward, to scan for other people's reactions. When he tries to sit quietly, he feels uncomfortable, almost anxious, as if he has forgotten how to be with himself. One day, after yet another event where he laughed without joy, he comes home, drops his bag on the floor, and stares at himself in the mirror. In the quiet of his small apartment, a strange question rises clearly in his mind. If socializing is supposed to make me happy and successful, why do I feel more and more disconnected from my real self? This is the moment when many people begin to awaken from the hypnosis of endless networking. They realize that being surrounded by people and feeling deeply connected are not the same thing. They realize that knowing many names and being truly known by anyone are completely different experiences. They realize that they have traded their own silence, creativity, and spiritual growth for a sense of belonging that is as thin as a soap bubble. Now, does this mean that all socializing is bad? That wise people must hide in caves, never talking to anyone? Of course not. Human beings are relational creatures. Deep, authentic relationships are one of the most sacred parts of life. The problem is not social connection. The problem is unconscious, compulsive, and often fear-driven socializing that keeps you stuck in shallow patterns. This is where truly wise people make a different choice, often a quiet and invisible one. They begin to filter their relationships not based on status, trend, or immediate benefit, but based on vibration. Does this person pull me toward my worst habits or my best self? Do our conversations leave me more awake or more numb? Do I feel free to be honest and vulnerable with this person? Or do I feel pressured to perform and pretend? From the outside, the truly wise person might look unsocial. They turn down many invitations. They are not present in every chat group. They often prefer a long walk, a book, or a quiet evening of reflection over another round of small talk. But inside, something else is happening. They are protecting their mind, which is the field in which their karma sprouts, their insights grow, and their destiny is shaped. Think of your mind as a garden. Every conversation, every piece of gossip, every argument, every video, and every repeated complaint is like a seed or a weed being thrown into that garden. If you spend 3 or 4 nights a week absorbing other people's frustrations, jealousies, empty bragging, and shallow values, your inner soil becomes clogged. Even if you read spiritual books and listen to wise teachings in your free time, those seeds struggle to grow in dirt that is already full of trash. Truly wise people are not antisocial. They are simply careful gardeners. They know that they have limited energy, limited time, and limited space in their mind. So they choose carefully what they plant and with whom they share their garden. They would rather have 1 or 2 deep, honest, growth-oriented relationships than 20 shallow ones built on convenience and fear of being alone. Let us look at this through the lens of karma and destiny. Each close relationship you enter is a karmic exchange. It is not just about sharing jokes and meals. It is about sharing energy, habits, and even future opportunities. If you surround yourself with people whose main hobbies are complaining, comparing, and numbing themselves with distractions, you are swimming in a pool of karma that pulls you in that direction. Even if you think, I am different, I will not be affected. Over time, the average of the group begins to shape you. This is why there is a saying that if you want to see your future, look at the people you spend the most time with. From a spiritual perspective, this is not just motivational speech. It is literally how cause and effect works in daily life. Very often, we do not need a fortune teller to predict our fate. We only need to look at our closest circle. Now imagine another life path. Imagine a woman named Sarah, who used to be a people pleaser. She said yes to every invitation because she did not want to disappoint anyone. Her phone was always buzzing, her calendar always full. But deep inside, she felt constantly drained. She had little time for her spiritual practice, little time to reflect on her choices, little time to even feel her own emotions. 1 year, after a particularly intense period of burnout, she begins to study teachings on midfulsons, karma, and awakening. She reads words like silence, discernment, and solitude not as signs of loneliness, but as gateways to deeper wisdom. Slowly, she starts making small, radical changes. She leaves several meaningless chat groups where people only forward jokes, rumors, or complaints. At first, she feels guilty. Will they be offended? She worries. But then, she remembers. I am responsible for my own mind. No one else will protect it for me. She still keeps a few groups where there is real support and useful information. But she stops trying to be everywhere. She looks at her week and realizes that she has been attending at least 2 or 3 social events that she does not actually enjoy. Happy hours that are not truly happy. Dinners where the same conversations repeat. She decides to cut these in half. One evening she still goes, to maintain important relationships or to truly celebrate a friend. Another evening she keeps for herself, for meditation, reading, journaling, and early sleep. Over months, something interesting happened. The people who only liked her because she was always available start to drift away. Some even accuse her. You changed. You are distant now. At first, this hurts, but she looks calmly and realizes, actually, what you mean is that I am no longer available to be used as a background character in your story. I am finally living my own story. At the same time, a few relationships become deeper. Friends who understand her need for growth respect her boundaries. Conversations move from gossip to real question. How are you really feeling? What are you working through? How can I support you? Inside, Sarah notices a new kind of energy rising. When she wakes up, she does not immediately feel tired before the day begins. Her mind is lighter because it is no longer holding so many superficial threads. Her spiritual practice deepens. When she sits in silence, she actually meets herself instead of hitting a wall of others' voices. From the outside, some people say, she is less social now. But in truth, she is more connected than ever, connected to her own purpose, connected to a few true friends, connected to something larger and more silent that guides her from within. This is the hidden wisdom behind many intelligent and spiritually awakening people not liking to socialize. It is not that they hate human. It is that they have tasted the difference between noise and nourishment. Once you have tasted deep peace, deep conversation, and the joy of being aligned with your own soul, it becomes very hard to go back to endless small talk and hollow performances. At this point you might say, all right, I understand this in theory, but I live in the real world. I have a job, maybe a business. I cannot just cut everyone off and live on a mountain. How do I walk this path of wise social simplicity without becoming rude or isolated? This is where the subtle art of boundaries and clarity comes in. First, you do not need to swing from one extreme to another. You do not need to go from saying yes to everything to saying no to everyone overnight. Instead, you start with awareness. For the next few weeks, observe your social activities like a scientist. After each gathering, ask yourself, how do I feel in my body and mind right now? More energized, inspired, and peaceful, or more drained, anxious, and empty? Write it down if it helps. You will begin to see pattern. There might be one friend with whom you can talk for hours and yet feel refreshed afterward. There might be another person you only see for half an hour, but after every meeting you feel exhausted and slightly self-hating. There might be an event that looks glamorous on the outside, but leaves you spiritually cold each time. There might be another little weekly tea with a colleague that brings real joy and mutual support. Once you clearly see these patterns, decisions become less dramatic. It is no longer about being social or not being social as an identity. It is about choosing what nurtures your path and gently reducing what blocks it. Second, learn to recognize the difference between fear-based and wisdom-based motivations. Many times, we go to events not because there is genuine joy or meaning, but because we are afraid. Afraid of missing opportunities, afraid of being judged, afraid of being forgotten. Fear says, if you do not show up, you will be left behind. Wisdom says, if you constantly show up for things that do not fit your soul, you will betray yourself and delay your real destiny. One practical way to check yourself is to pause before accepting an invitation and ask, if I were not afraid of missing out or disappointing people, would I still want to go? If the answer is honestly yes, then go, with full presence and openness. If the answer is no, consider gently declining, or at least reducing such engagements over time. Third, bring spiritual awareness into the social moments you do choose. Wise people do not only practice when they are alone on a cushion. They treat social situations as laboratories for observing karma, ego, and awakening in action. For example, at a dinner, instead of letting the conversation slide mindlessly into gossip, you can quietly guide it toward topics that are more meaningful. Books that changed your life, lessons from failure, acts of kindness you witnessed, questions about purpose, not in a preachy way, but in a curious, humble way. You will notice that some people respond with depth and excitement. Others become awkward or uninterested. This is a living demonstration of which relationships have the potential to support your growth. In professional networking, instead of chasing people with big titles, you can pay attention to something else. Vibration. Does this person speak with integrity? Do their actions match their words? Do you feel more yourself or less yourself when you are around them? In this way, wisdom protects you from getting entangled with powerful but toxic individuals whose karmic storms could easily pull your life off track. Fourth, cultivate the courage to be alone without feeling lonely. This is perhaps the most important step. Many people cling to empty socializing, not because they enjoy it, but because they are terrified of what they might feel if they were alone with themselves for a few evenings. When you first reduce your social noise, you may feel a raw discomfort, old memories, unresolved grief, fears about the future, all rise up. This is natural. The chatter of others used to cover up these inner voices. Now, in the silence, you can hear them. Instead of running back to the noise, this is the moment to deepen your spiritual practice. You can light a candle, sit quietly, feel your breath, and simply notice what comes. You can chant a mantra, recite a short prayer, or read a passage of wisdom slowly, letting it sink in. You can write in a journal, boldly telling the truth to yourself in words. In this way, solitude becomes not a punishment, but a healing room. The more you pass through this room, the less frightening your inner world becomes. You start to see that the loneliness you feared was often just your own unloved emotions asking for your attention. As you befriend them, you feel less dependent on external noise. You can choose socializing from fullness instead of from hunger. Over time, something beautiful happens. The same person who once clung to every invitation now enjoys a quiet evening and a meaningful conversation in equal measure. They no longer need to prove their worth by how many events they attend. Their value comes from living in alignment with their heart, from practicing compassion, from walking their path with awareness. At this point, other people may notice the change. Some might be curious. How come you are so calm now? You used to be everywhere. You can smile and say, I realize that not every gathering is nourishing, and I want to spend my time on what truly matters. Some might feel threatened and say, you think you are better than us now. You can stay kind and firm, knowing that your choice is not an attack on them, but a commitment to yourself. Remember this, truly wise people are not against people. They are against wasting the one precious life they have on activities and relationships that keep them asleep. They know that every hour spent in unconscious chatter is an hour not spent on awakening. Creativity, service, and real love. If you look at many great lives across history and across spiritual tradition, you will notice a common rhythm. Periods of engagement alternate with periods of retreat. They teach, serve, build, create, and then they withdraw to renew their connection with the source of wisdom inside. They might walk alone in nature, meditate in silence, chant in the early morning, or simply sit and listen to the voice of their conscience. Without these periods, their public work would run dry. You do not have to be a famous teacher to live that rhythm. In your own small way, you can do the same. Perhaps you attend a necessary work event on Thursday, but keep Friday evening for yourself. Perhaps you enjoy a family gathering on Sunday, but give yourself quiet time on Saturday morning for spiritual practice. Perhaps you say no to a random party, but say yes to one deep conversation with a friend who is also walking the path of inner growth. Your life does not need more noise. It needs more clarity. And clarity often grows in the soil of solitude and wise choice. As we come toward the close of this sharing, I want to speak directly to that part of you that has always felt a bit out of place in noisy crowds. Maybe you were the child who preferred reading in a corner to running around in a big group. Maybe you were the teenager who felt drained after parties. Maybe you are the adult who secretly dreams of a simpler, quieter life but feels guilty for wanting it. Please hear this. There is nothing wrong with you for craving depth over quantity, for preferring a few trusted companions to a sea of faces, for loving silence more than small talk. In fact, that may be a sign that your soul is ready for a path of awakening that demands more inner listening than outer performance. The challenge is not to force yourself to become a social butterfly. The challenge is to learn the art of wise connection, to surround yourself with people who support your growth, to let go of relationships that consistently drag you downward, and to make regular dates with your own soul. You do not have to justify your boundaries to everyone. Destiny is quietly shaped not by loud explanations, but by small, consistent choices. Every time you choose a quiet evening of reflection instead of another empty event, you are choosing your future. Every time you say no to gossip and yes to honesty, you are choosing your future. Every time you dare to disappoint someone else in order to stay true to your inner voice, you are choosing your future. One day, you will look back and see a pattern. You will see that the courage to be less social in the worldly sense opened the door to being more deeply connected in the spiritual sense. Connected to your purpose, to a few real friends, to your higher self, and to something larger that breathes through all of us. Now I would love to turn this question over to you. Have you ever forced yourself to attend social events that left you feeling empty or exhausted? Have you ever said no to such events and felt a surprising sense of freedom? Have you noticed any change in your spiritual practice, emotional health, or creativity when you reduced meaningless socializing? If you feel comfortable, share your stories in the comment section. Your experience might be exactly what another quiet, sensitive soul needs to hear to realize they are not broken, just different. You might help someone stop blaming themselves for not fitting into a noisy mold and instead begin to design a life that fits their true nature. If this long conversation has resonated with you, if it has given you language to understand your own heart more clearly, I invite you to support this channel. You can subscribe so you do not miss future videos about awakening, wisdom, karma, compassion, practice, and destiny. You can click like so that more people searching for these topics can find this space. You can leave a comment to join the circle of reflection, because your voice and your journey truly matter. And if you feel called to support more deeply, you can consider becoming a channel member, helping us sustain the time and energy it takes to create content that speaks to the soul in a noisy world. Thank you for spending this time with me, away from all the rushing and performing. May you have the courage to choose fewer but truer connections. May you learn to enjoy your own company as the most honest companionship you will ever have. And may your life gradually shift from busy social schedules to a simple, radiant path where every relationship, including the one with yourself, becomes an expression of awakening and wisdom.
There comes a time when you realize you want something that belongs just to you, something that brings comfort and keeps you connected to your inner world. Wall-crafted bracelet does exactly that. Quietly, softly, and consistently. If you felt drawn to any bracelet in this video, you'll find the purchase link in the video description and many more auctions in the channel's storefront. Because sometimes the smallest item can bring the biggest sense of peace.